everyone, and welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico, the site of the International Balloon Fiesta, and tonight's interconference showdown between New Mexico United and Detroit City FC. Welcome into the lab. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. And Chris, this one is going to be a ton of fun here tonight. New Mexico picking up their first win in nearly 2 months last weekend, while Detroit, they have 0 losses in their last 5.
At Blake's, we're proud to call our food fresh. We think every burger should be cooked to order and fresh off the grill. This patty's big, blockbuster big, and 100% Angus beef. Now, the finishing touch. This is a superior meat to bun ratio for the best burgers your mouth's ever tasted. Blake's Fresh Take is worth the wait.
Robert reading for Victor, and action.
Mary, I love you more than anything, but this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
Now you're angry. Go.
But this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
You're full of sorrow.
I'm drowning.
And cut. Great. We'll be in touch.
Good thing I went to C&M.
How about Mary?
Thanks for joining us here on CBS Sports Golazo Network this evening. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst in Albuquerque. We're live on site at the lab for New Mexico United taking on Detroit City. The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. Chris, why don't we take a look at our starting lineups here this evening, brought to you by Will Ferguson and Associates. And, you know, it's funny as we look at these two lineups, we'll start out first here with New Mexico United. No
afforded the chance to not play their top scorer.
That is our center official tonight, Joshua Encarnacion. As we are moments away from getting underway here at the lab, and we'd like to let you know that kickoff is brought to you by Bank of America. As New Mexico United, of course, in their home black and yellow Meow Wolf kits, and Detroit City tonight rocking the all-white strips. It's a different look for Le Rouge, Chris.
It's got a little feel of like Ajax, the front with the blue down the middle, maybe like an Ajax away kit from back in the 90s. It's got a little feel for that.
And immediately it's a takeaway for Detroit City, and Le Rouge almost opened things up here less than 15 seconds in, Chris. What a quick start for the visitors.
I mean, what an absolute what great start by Detroit. That the 3-5-2, and Chapman just playing behind the front two there, picked off the pass immediately and straight off to the races. I tell you what a save this was by Tambakis. Back in the team tonight for the first time in a while and pulls off a save immediately.
Well, Jordan Adebayo Smith, the Minnesota United loanee, he was looking to pick up his first goal for Detroit City. And you know what? I do want to correct something. I said there were no changes. There is one change tonight for Dennis Sanchez. It's in goal. Alex Tambakis getting the start. Chris Shakes on the bench tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a huge statement as well. You know, with, Chris Shakes, 2 clean sheets in the last 3 games. One of those which being against Lou City as well, which is no mean feat. So, yeah, it's a chance for Tambakis to stake a claim. You know, he's been the long-time number 1 here and had to play second fiddle for the last few weeks. And Shakes has done an admirable job as well. So, but Tambakis will be looking to stake a claim. And I tell you what, done himself no harm with that save early on there.
Zico Bailey goes down, and the free kick awarded to Detroit City. And it's also a home debut here for Juan Carlos Moguel Jr. Made his New Mexico United debut just this last weekend. He played the first half at San Antonio for New Mexico. Picked up an 8th-minute yellow card as Dennis Sanchez looking to add some pieces, Chris, change things up. It's truly incredible how different this team looks here tonight than what we saw even just 3 months ago.
Yeah, and a lot of the players that are coming in are players who are familiar with Sanchez, and Sanchez is familiar with them as well. But one staple that I'm glad to see though is that there's Rivas in the middle of the park, and we've talked about that the last couple of home games. The spark and the energy that he brings, just knowing what these New Mexico United fans like and love, and the energy he brings and tenacity as well. And it's great to see him get the start as well.
This is Chapman. There was a coming together there with the Scotsman Greg Hurst. Encarnacion lets him play. As that ball overhit. Looking for the run of Sheldon. And there he is, Chris, the former Sunderland legend, Danny Dicchio. I know you were excited to see this one here tonight.
Absolutely. Mellow D. I remember his DJing days back up in the northeast of England, and like I say, absolute legend. Played for Sunderland under Peter Reid, and it was Niall Quinn, Kevin Phillips. A lot of people who used to watch the Premier League back in the day will remember those days. Maybe the glory days are on the way back for us Mackems, but right now we hope to rise. Back. That was definitely a pinnacle since I've been following them.
Change in goal here tonight for Detroit City as well. Carlos Herrera getting the start. Herrera, the 27-year-old, he spent the past 3 seasons in the league with Monterey Bay. Long ball hit forward, and Tambakis has to come out of his box to clear it away. And Alex Tambakis, Chris, haven't seen him for quite a while. As we take a quick look at the keys to the game, brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation for New Mexico, looking to ride that positive momentum off that win on Saturday. Fight for a home playoff spot. And, one thing we haven't mentioned yet is a win tonight, Chris, would see New Mexico jump all the way back up into 3rd.
It's crazy how condensed the Western Conference is. I think, even bottom place in Western Conference is still, in amongst it. Whereas out in the East, you look out East, 2 teams already clinched playoffs. But yeah, Monterey Bay down there, 24 points. Switchbacks 30 points. Maybe a little gap starting to open up there, but really, no one's completely out of it. Again, it just brings it down to who can put a little run together. But as we said, Monterey Bay on a torrid run of form right now.
New Mexico with the takeaway here. Zico Bailey turning. He looks to chip at Etta. Zico Bailey, are you serious?
I mean, that's one way to do it when New Mexico United have barely crossed the halfway line. Detroit City asking so many questions. So why not shoot from inside your own half, and completely caught Herrera off guard there.
Unreal from Zico Bailey. The long bomb. It's his second goal of the championship season. His last goal coming at the Coliseum against Oakland Roots back in May. What a goal that was.
What are the odds on that being goal of the week, goal of the month, goal of the season? That well inside his own half as well, and knew exactly what he was doing. Tremendous strike.
I have a feeling we're going to be seeing that goal on replays and highlight reels for years to come.
That one might make the full-time ESPN. We might be seeing that all over the world.
New Mexico United goals brought to you by New Mexico Orthopedics as Valentin Noel rattles it off the post. New Mexico looking to jump all over Detroit here early, Chris.
Wow, again, that was, from nothing. Detroit, you can tell, are completely rocked by this right now, and only 12 minutes or so into the game, and Noel just picks it up. No one steps from Detroit back line, just gives him freedom of Isotopes Park. So he thinks, why not? He gets everything right. He just can't quite bring it back. Herrera was beating all ends up as well.
What a quick start to this one, and Detroit looking to go back the other way, and it's Kip Keller with the tidy defensive play there. I need to catch my breath. And this ball momentarily taken away, and it is by Greg Hurst now. He's got Dayon Harris. Dayon Harris cuts it back. Harris to Hurst. Greg Hurst still looking for his 5th league goal of the season.
What a way to get the crowd into the game. And these midweek games, it's a little tougher for people, school night and work and that. But what a way to get people up off their seats and into the game immediately with Zico Bailey's bomb, and then immediately followed by Noel as well. Like you say, it's really trying to punish Detroit, and you see Danny Dicchio there just trying to work out how he can kind of calm things down, put their foot back on the ball, because it was a decent start by Detroit as well.
So this throw-in is going to give us time for our 5:29 game update. That's brought to you by the Education Plan. That's New Mexico state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. So 5 minutes in, Zico Bailey with a goal of the year contender from inside his own half, bombing it over the head of Carlos Herrera.
We were just talking about the goalkeeper change as well for Detroit, and both keepers have played essentially. This is Herrera's 12th appearance of the season, and he has conceded a couple more goals, but he'll be seeing that one in his nightmares for a while, I would imagine.
Captain Kalen Ryden getting the start here tonight. Ryden making his 142nd league appearance for New Mexico, and joined the club back in the 2020 season, Road Warriors season. Chris, it's an interesting one. Obviously, it's a shortened season, right, with the pandemic, and then playing the games in the little micro groups. New Mexico playing every game on the road that year. Kalen Ryden, he's been a fixture in this side since. The captain here this evening. Keller runs this ball down. for Kip Keller. Just joined the side just about 2.5 weeks ago, Chris. In fact, he was acquired on August 22nd, debuted on August 23rd in Louisville.
And since he's joined, so those 3 games since he's joined, including the Lou City game, which is not an easy game to come into, only conceded 2 goals in 3 games. Both of those goals coming in the last home game here against Sac Republic as well.
Corner coming up here for Detroit City. That is Kobe Hernandez Foster. Cross goes in and found Amu Mensah at the back post. Couldn't do anything with it. So we have a quick look at our injury report by Ben Sherman Law. Injured at work. Ben Sherman can help. Daniel Bruce, the lone name on there for New Mexico United. This ball turned over.
Yeah, talking about Kalen Ryden back in the team as well, through that injury. New Mexico United went through a stretch of 3 away games, conceding 10 goals in 3 games. I don't think there's any coincidence that the return of Kalen Ryden has returned the team to a bit of defensive solidity. Obviously, you missed that Lou City game, but they came last game out against SAFC, clean sheet, looking solid tonight. Keller as well have obviously added that, and that's the strong start that New Mexico United had came from that defensive solidity. So many clean sheets early on in the season, and really looking to get back to that and building a foundation to build from, because we've been chasing games far too often over the last couple of months.
Well, New Mexico, this is a side that started out real hot, found themselves back in first place in the Western Conference, and then Kalen Ryden broke his collarbone June 14th. It was at Lexington, and that was sort of when the spiral started, if you will. They went on to win on June 21st, and that ended up being their only win until just last weekend. And so Ryden's back. You add Kip Keller to the mix, and it looks like you've maybe found yourself a new center back pairing.
Which is crazy, because, just think how important and how good Tyler Maples was last year. And even early on this season, absolutely stellar start of the season, but found himself on the outside looking in right now, and being the good professional he is, I'm sure he's been a good teammate, but I also know being a competitor, he'll want to be on that pitch as well.
Switch looking for Seymour, and the header can find Herrera. And what's also interesting about Talon Maples being out of the side is he's been the #1 penalty taker for the black and yellow for the last season and a half maybe. He's converted 3 from the spot in league play just this season.
And it kind of fell to him through, I guess, kind of default. You don't know how they pick those things, but New Mexico United were having struggles finding someone who could consistently put the ball in the back of the net from 12 yards.
Keller. Deion Harris getting the start here at the lab tonight. And Harris, he got the start this past weekend in San Antonio as well, Chris. And, we mentioned he returned from that torn ACL back in late July. Well, that start last weekend in San Antonio was his first league start since last May, which coincidentally was a win over San Antonio.
It's weird how that happened. Like the San Antonio result bookend and the worst run in club history, essentially. The win against San Antonio on June 21st. Coincidentally, that was the last home win that New Mexico United looking for their first home win since June 21st tonight. But that was against San Antonio, and then they went through that run of ties and losses, and then find themselves, their next win is against, of course, San Antonio. It's weird how those things happen.
Captain Stephen Carroll. Carroll from the Republic of Ireland, the 31-year-old. Spent a season with Cork City before coming stateside. He's been with Detroit for as long as they've been in the championship. Goes all the way back to 2022. 108 appearances for Detroit City over that span. Here's Harris. Harris goes down, draws the foul. It's going to be a TLC free kick. TLC plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical. So home debut tonight for Carlos Moguel Jr., native of Shelbyville, Kentucky. Is Moguel. It's the Louisville area. He played in the Louisville Academy, and until putting on the New Mexico United badge, he had been a one-club man, having only played for Louisville City in his career. Away by Kalen Ryden, and corner kick coming up here for Detroit.
You can see that's definitely a plan that Detroit City are trying to do. Maybe something that they've identified with the centre-back partnership that New Mexico United have is continually trying to just drop that ball in behind the two centre-backs and get runners, willing runners, running onto it as well. They've got plenty pace up front there, Detroit City, so it'll be interesting to see if that's something they keep picking at. But, you know, between Tambakis having good starting position and being like a sweeper keeper and defensive players like that from Kalen Wright, and New Mexico United have dealt with it so far.
Corner comes in from Chapman, and it's over the head of everybody. Jay Chapman, the 31-year-old Canadian, has 3 caps for his country. He's scored once. Spent a lot of time in the MLS, did Jay Chapman. Most of his time with Toronto FC. Also spent a couple of seasons with Inter Miami.
Last time Detroit City tasted victory on the road, way back in April 12th. Unfortunately for New Mexico United, it was against another desert team. It was against Phoenix Rising, and it was a ding-dong-do, 3-2. A 3-2 win against Phoenix down in the valley. So it's been a while since Le Rouge have found a way to taste victory on the road.
Foul called on Dayon Harris there. It's going to set up this set piece for Detroit City. And it's, as you mentioned, okay, one more look here. LaFleur drew the foul. Yeah, the Travels haven't treated Detroit so well, despite them having 0 losses in their last 5.
Yeah, I mean, only 3 away wins in the league anyway. All season, I say the last one, April 12th. There's been 8 chances, 8 opportunities for them to try and win away from home since then. 4 losses, 4 ties. Still looking, I say that's a long time. And tonight, this is a long trip as well. You know that, and travel does, it takes it out of you.
Poked forward by Chapman. Detroit could be onto something. Here's Jope, and it's cleared away by Moguel. Greg Hurst gets a flick, but Carroll is going to usher this one all the way back to Herrera. Not so fast. Throwing coming up here for New Mexico. Well, we might be some of the only action in the USL Championship. There are some Jägermeister Cup games going on. There's a look at the scores here, as we'll get into those a little bit later. But PKs, it looks like, between Sac and Rhode Island. It's New Mexico probing around the box here. Harris, cross goes in, Herrera ricochets, Gloucester with the left foot, and New Mexico go up 2-0, 20 minutes in.
scoring the second goal during the magic minute as well. The crowd had just rose to their feet. Ball breaks down the right-hand side. A vicious cross in. I think it was Harris. Herrera deals with the first cross, but he punches it back out right around the penalty spot. Not a great area to push it back out in. Gloucester, first time with his left peg, just picks his spot, rifles it in the top corner.
And for Chris Gloucester, it's his second goal of the USL Championship season. And New Mexico United goals are brought to you by New Mexico Orthopedics, getting you back to you. As you all see, Chris, you put the ball into dangerous areas, good things happen. As Gloucester scores for the first time since May.
Yeah, it's that pace of Harris getting in behind again, and maybe I was a little harsh on Herrera. I'm not sure. He had to get that touch. I'm not sure who. I think it was Noel was lurking at the back post who was going to pop it in, so he had to get that touch. And really, the defenders of Detroit so sluggish in reacting. Gloucester had like the freedom of the 18-yard box again to just kind of pick his spot, and Detroit will be very disappointed there.
And a yellow card shown to Alex Tambakis for the challenge there on Adebayo Smith, and Tambakis is beside himself. And so this is a dangerous opportunity for the visitors. And so the first yellow card here tonight, yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years.
I mean, normally you would go by the reaction of the players, but really Tambakis is the only one who's really arguing anything. I think Carroll's having a word, maybe asking, should it be more than a yellow card? I think that's the conversation there. You see, it's that ball over the top again. We talked about it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what Tambakis is saying. It doesn't look. It's hard to tell. It really is hard to tell. But it looks like he almost pulls his foot away. I'm not sure there's a whole lot of contact there.
It's definitely a tough one to see on that TLC replay. But Tambakis now, he's left to deal with this free kick that's going to be coming his way from just outside the 18-yard box. And I think they got a pretty favorable spot in terms of where the free kick is placed. I thought the foul occurred a little bit closer to the line of the 18. And why this is so significant, obviously, it gives you a little bit more space to get that ball over the wall but under the crossbar.
Yeah, get it up and down. Yeah, definitely it does. Yeah, I agree. It's right now that's placed outside the D. So, that's a good 5, 6, 7 yards outside the 18-yard box. So lots of room to work with here.
So the free kick here. Left-footed, and it's saved by Tambakis. I believe that was Cedeno. Excuse me, that was Kobe Hernandez Foster. And the speed here of Kalen Ryden and Kip Keller, well, it's been tested a few times already through these first 24 minutes, and from what we can tell, Chris, it's going to continue to be tested with Jordan Adebayo Smith.
Yeah, and because of the formation that Detroit are playing with a 3-5-2, they're matched up there. They're one-on-one, and New Mexico United, both Gloucester and Seymour, both like to get forward, and they're trying to occupy the wing-backs of Detroit, which leaves Harris and Noel to do their thing against the centre-backs, hopefully, So it's going to be a lot of one-on-one battles, and to get those balls over the top. I think Detroit definitely fancy their chances of springing an attack because of their pace.
Cross in, it was headed away by Keller. Noel now in possession. New Mexico looking to counter. There's the goal scorer, Zico Bailey, to the other goal scorer, Chris Gloucester. Rivas now. Rivas was looking for the run of Gloucester.
there's a little difference, a little pep in the step of New Mexico United. I'd say like the previous home games, like Sac Republic in the last home game, just absolutely bossed the first 10, 15 minutes. Really did. Really stamped their authority on the game and took the crowd completely out of it and really frustrated the crowd, you know. And today, every time New Mexico United had a chance to just possession passes, but the pace at which they're doing, the tempo they're trying to inject into the game, it's a really, really exciting game. It's been a really, really exciting start to the game, and it's great to see. And this is what the New Mexico United fans have been craving.
And it's a great time if you're New Mexico to find form going down the stretch, Chris. So we talked about a win tonight puts you right back up in that top 4 and in line for a home playoff game. Here's Greg Hurst, finds Zico Bailey. Could he be on for a second? Ball deflected. Noel, Gloucester now. Eventually cleared away here by Detroit. Only as far as Kalen Ryden. Foul called against Ryden, and Detroit looking to take it quickly. And eventually, the free kick squandered.
I think there's a term there, it's called the ball never lies. I'm just curious how Kalen Ryden there, he has possession of the ball. There's a little grab there, fair enough. But he moves the ball and Cedeno kind of steps into him, and the initial thought was that he just kind of ran into Kalen Ryden, and Kalen Ryden had possession of the ball. But yeah, I'm sure maybe a couple of the players were mentioning that. But just before that, New Mexico United, Noel had a great opportunity, and after he'd hit the post, right after Zico Bailey's thing, maybe looking for Noel to hit it again, and New Mexico United maybe guilty a little bit of overplaying and not to, again, you said it earlier after the second goal, putting the ball into dangerous areas. Put the ball into dangerous areas, good things happen.
And good things have happened tonight for Zico Bailey, Chris Gloucester. Both of them scoring their second goal of the season, Chris. Their first goals of the season both came in the same match earlier as well at Oakland. New Mexico, they would love to replicate the results of that one. New Mexico walked out 3-0 winners on the day.
I mean, that is honestly probably what New Mexico United look at. When was the last time New Mexico United had a routine win? Like the SAFC win this past weekend, nothing routine about it. Playing against 10 men, really had to dig in. It was, Arshimedi finally, what a great run it was, and what a great finish. Calm rounding the keeper, slotting it into an empty net. But New Mexico United made to work really, really hard for that. When was the last time New Mexico United had a routine 2-3-0 win or something like that?
There's Chapman, and had that one poked off his feet by Mogel, and that's how you're going to earn new fans here with your new club. Now, Greg Hurst, here's the Scotsman, flicks it forward, and what a flick there from Greg Hurst, and eventually cleared away. Bailey goes back to Gloucester. Cross, and it's bounced back to Gloucester. And Gloucester eventually runs out of real estate, and he's whistled for the foul.
I tell you what, Detroit City are all over the place at the back. That was another opportunity. New Mexico United just couldn't find the space to take the shot. But I've got this written down, watching little bits of the Orange County game. Detroit ran out 4-1 winners. That game could have easily been 4-4. It was some unbelievable defensive plays for Detroit. There was unbelievable mistakes at both ends as well. The fact it finished with just 5 goals in the game was actually a bit of a miracle. How Orange County didn't score more goals is crazy, and kind of seeing a little bit of that already here tonight, where defenders kind of falling all over themselves, not sure whether to clear it or connect the pass. A lot of confusion back there right now.
He could be onto something here. Here's Adebayo Smith, and Kip Keller sees this one out. There'll be another corner coming up here for the visitors. 30 minutes gone by here at the lab. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. Whether you're watching on CBS Sports Golazo Network or throughout the state of New Mexico on New Mexico 50, I'd like to welcome you. It is a gorgeous evening here at Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park. First of 2 this week here at the lab for the Black and Yellow. As Hernandez Foster sends the corner in, and Tambakis may have got a piece of that. Looks like somebody might have got a piece of him as well. There'll be a throw in here for the visitors. One more look on this TLC replay. A little bit of contact there with Devin Amu-Mensah. Chapman just brings this one forward. Hernandez Foster and dealt with initially by Seymour. Only as far as Sheldon. Sheldon goes back to Bryant now, and ball pinged forward, looking for LaFleur. Another throw in here for the visitors. Adebayo Smith and Mogel got a touch to it. New Mexico could be onto something, but Bailey just beaten to the ball there by Carroll. Zico Bailey, I think he was thinking about maybe having another pop there at Etta.
Yeah, it's just if he had an opportunity to get a little touch there. If he did, he had Greg Hurst alongside him. They were in a little 2v1, but he also had there was always the risk that it could have been a foul and a nasty one as well, because he would have been at full stretch. So 2-0, probably made the good decision to just pull out and let the defender kind of just clear his lines there. But you see New Mexico United just keeping Detroit City at arm's length, and the game's just taking its first breath. I think 32 minutes in there, and finally a chance for everyone to catch their breath.
This is the fourth meeting between these two clubs all time, Chris. And the record between them all square. 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw. We'll see New Mexico able to hang on and tilt that table their way. These are two teams in this series who are both apparently very good at home. New Mexico, they were victorious the one and only time that these two teams have played here in Albuquerque. It was July of 2023. It was a 1-0 win for the Black and Yellow. Teenager Academy product Alex Wagner, the lone goal scorer that night for the home side, but Detroit, they've got 1 win and 1 draw up at Keyworth against New Mexico.
Remember that was Alex Wagner, I believe, his last game before he moved up to Michigan to play for U of M.
Yeah.
And had a really successful first season up there. And he's transferred now. He's out in Portland, but great to see Academy graduates. He was actually another Michigan, but Michigan State. And my wife will like me mentioning this one. She's a big Spartan, and I don't know if her friends are watching up in Michigan as well. If they are, like, shout out to those guys. But Miles Merritt, former Academy, New Mexico United Academy, saw on his Instagram this week that he scored for Michigan State this week. He's transferred up there, so great to see New Mexico players doing their thing all over the country.
Bailey. Nice link-up play with Gloucester tonight. Goes back to Bailey, and here's Hurst, too heavy of a touch. It's going to fall to Harris, though. Plenty of space here for Dayon Harris, and he figures why not. Sends it well over the crossbar.
Why not indeed, but you could see again the pace that New Mexico United are able to break with Hurst and the little flicks and tricks in and around the box, the confidence, the difference in confidence, what a difference a week makes basically. And, you know, seeing that running through New Mexico and how dangerous they can be. There, Dayon Harris from 18 yards out, just thinking why not, and wasn't too far away either.
Dayon Harris, he's looking for his first league goal since coming back from that torn ACL. He did score on his return to action, although that one in Jägermeister Cup play, and This isn't good if you're a New Mexico United fan. That's the captain, Kalen Wright, and he's gone down.
Looks like he's just feeling that left ankle a little bit. I didn't see what could have caused that. Maybe it was as he was clearing the last ball. But back up on his feet. Again, maybe just allowing people to kind of catch their breath.
Kalen Wright, the 34-year-old out of Norman, Oklahoma, making his 15th appearance of the season here tonight. As mentioned, he had that broken collarbone that had him out for a little bit over 2 months. Seymour now going on a run from the right back spot. Here's the switch of play. Noel. Oh, and Valentin Noel. He didn't miss by much.
I was up, Tyler. I've got to level with you. We were right behind that. I was about to stand up. That looked like it had all the markings of another goal of the month contender. Got the whip on it, got the bend, just started it just a little too far outside the post and couldn't bring it back. But when he bent, just cut in there, like earlier on in the first half where he hit the post, he just tries, you can see, just tries to bring it back. You can see that spin, and that is inches away from being in top ins.
How do you say wizard in French? It looked like he had a magic wand and he was just guiding that ball towards that top corner. That might have warranted a full-on magisterial up here in the press box. Here comes Seymour again. He stayed in an elevated position. He's getting forward now. Down Harris, ball at his feet. Support arriving. The Albuquerque native, Sergio Rivas. He played the first half last weekend. Picked up a 38th minute yellow card. Just his 5th start of the season tonight, but good to see the local product getting a foothold back in the team. It's now 2 straight starts for Rivas.
Yeah, and again, the energy, just everything that he brings in midfield. I've always enjoyed watching him play. And like just earlier on where Tambakis played a ball into midfield, just that little one-touch pass out wide just keeps the move building and never really seems like he's under pressure.
No idea how Greg Hurst got out of that one. Unable to link up with Valentin Noel. Sheldon doing well to maintain possession, but eventually it looks like he just runs out of room. New Mexico now could be onto something. Seymour making his 103rd league appearance for the club here tonight.
I mean, just look at the position that Seymour's in right now. He's supposed to be playing right back. It's almost like New Mexico United have invented a new position. You've heard of the false 9. I think maybe this is the false 2. He's basically playing centre mid at the middle, just dictating everything from midfield.
Well, here is the false 2. It's Will Seymour. Zico Bailey now. Noel. Harris, flag stays down. This will be a throw in here for New Mexico. Well, we've got a second here, fans. We'd like to let you know that the USL and the CBS Sports Network continues in September with the League One battle of old versus new. Richmond Kickers, one of the oldest continually operated active soccer clubs in the U.S., takes on newcomer Portland Hearts of Pine. That's Wednesday, September 17th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time on the CBS Sports Network. New Mexico still looking to ask some questions here. That ball goes all the way out for a throw-in on the other side.
It's another vicious ball just into that corridor in between the goalkeeper and the defenders, and so much pace on it. All it takes, whether it's an attacker or a defender, just to make any kind of contact, and it's going to go flying into the back of the net, or at least in that direction.
Here's Seymour. Detroit, we can really use the spell of possession right about now. It's been all New Mexico for the better part of the last few minutes.
Yeah, and it does look like maybe they've run out of ideas. They need the half-time to come. Just get Danny Dicchio in there just to get, some fresh ideas, some fresh impetus for the second half, because New Mexico United have taken away that space behind them. There's a lot less space between Tambakis and the two centre-backs now, so they can't drop that ball in there. And really, New Mexico United just controlling the tempo, and Detroit have got to be feeling it now as well. Last 5 minutes, heading into half-time, the altitude, the travel, it looks like it's starting to take its toll.
The goal scorer, Chris Gloucester. It's the Frenchman, Valentin Noel. New Mexico showing some patience here. Probing around, and eventually looked like just a miscommunication between the new teammates. Carlos Moguel Jr. and Chris Gloucester. Foul called against New Mexico. Fans, you can also watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN. That's the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Select matches will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. I'll save you a quick trip. You can find tonight's match. That's right, this one right here. It's on 2DN. In fact, we have an in-house Spanish language broadcast team. Our friend Manny Esquivel and his partner, they're sitting a couple rooms down from us. They call all of the New Mexico United games in Spanish here locally. They're being picked up tonight on 2DN. I think it's incredible that we get to have that platform, Chris. Obviously not just us, but the league. And, it just really enhances the reach of the USL Championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Like trying to do things that grow the game, right? And the game is continuing to grow in the States, and a big part of that is going to be the World Cup next year, and excitement starting to build for that too.
Okay, for what it's worth, if you have 2DN, check it out for a few minutes. Those guys over there in that room, Manny Esquivel, he's an Emmy-winning sports journalist. He is incredible, incredibly entertaining. He's so good at what he does with the Spanish language broadcast. It is must-see TV. So if you have access to that, I would highly suggest checking it out, even if it's just for a few minutes tonight. Here's Adebayo Smith now, and Seymour boots this one out. First half stoppage time looming. Don't anticipate there's going to be much, Chris.
Yeah, no, there was the free kick with Tambakis, a little stoppage for that. There haven't really been any injuries. Kalen Ryden for not long though. So yeah, it's been a really fast 45 minutes.
LaFleur, and it's dealt with by Keller. And down goes Will Seymour, and Will Seymour He wins the foul call. It's Isaiah LaFleur, the 22-year-old. For LaFleur, he was just added to this Detroit City squad. This is just his third appearance of the season. He comes from the Philadelphia Union system. As we are officially in first half stoppage time. 2 minutes added on here. It's New Mexico Pinon Coffee, the taste of enchantment. New Mexico, they're going to look to just get to the break with a 2-0 lead here. Down went Cedeno. No foul called, and now down goes Rivas. And now the foul has been called. So Alex Tambakis getting the start tonight. As I mentioned, it's been a long time since we've seen Alex Tambakis for New Mexico. Last time he was out was against Hartford. It was all the way back at the end of July, Chris. It was July 30th, actually, and it was a 4-0 drubbing by the host that night.
Yeah, that was in that stretch of away games where, again, going back to 3 games and 10 goals conceded, it was a dark time for New Mexico United, really was. But I tell you what, like we've said numerous times, any team that can put a little run together can find themselves right in the mix. And New Mexico United can put in a second half performance that matches this first half performance. They'll be well on their way to winning 2 on the bounce and start looking up again.
So this very well could be the last action of the first half. And in fact, Herrera's not even going to get a chance to kick it. As the halftime whistle blows here in Albuquerque, it's a 2-0 lead.
Dustin Lynch, live in concert. Friday, September 26th, 8 p.m., Sandia Resort and Casino Amphitheater. The biggest party of 2025 with country superstar Dustin Lynch. Special guests Cooper Allen and Tiger Lily Gold. On sale now at sandiacasino.com. Dustin Lynch live.
It's time to kick off a new kind of partnership. Meet Carmela from Bernalillo County Animal Care, who is ready to join the game. Your support helps give these amazing animals a chance to play, grow, and to find a loving home, just like Frank did. Visit your local shelter and discover the joy of adopting a new teammate. Together, we can make every day a winning game.
The 2025 summer concert season is in full swing at Sandia Resort and Casino Amphitheater. August 17th, we're the Party At Tour with Nelly and Ja Rule. August 22nd, Brad Paisley with Jake Worthington. September 5th and 6th, Tim McGraw. September 20th, Neo. September 27th, Dustin Lynch and Cooper Allen with Tiger Lily Gold. Tickets and hotel packages available at sandiacasino.com or the box office. Experience the night with the stars at Sandia Amphitheater.
USL 2 National Championship between Ballard FC and the Vermont Green. This is a moment very few of us have ever seen. This is a special moment for soccer and for both. It is going to be a big one. These two teams are loaded with talent. They've both led their conferences, their divisions throughout the year, and a chance for Ballard to make it 2 titles in 3 years, and a chance for Vermont Green to do something no one has done since 2010 and go perfect. And they're about 3 points to the spot. He rolls it off the post and in. And Vermont Green take the lead in the national championship at Virtue Field. And there he is, coast to top once again. Ingay recovers it, curls it back in. Marshall puts it on, and Kilgore, the national championship goal scorer in NCAA, puts it in 2025. Vermont is the king of soccer. And the Vermont Green win their first ever USL 2 title. And green is the color of victory once again in Burlington, Vermont.
Welcome back to the lab here in Albuquerque. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. It's a 2-0 lead for the black and yellow over Le Rouge here. We've got plenty to get into here over this halftime break, so let's go ahead and jump right into things.
went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
We don't stop chanting, we don't stop drumming, yelling and screaming and chanting.
We'll follow them wherever, pretty much. That's just the love that we have for our team.
Kickers are on the board. Ollie Wrights. It's Portland pumping ahead
2-1. Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
BYU is the place to be here tonight as Utah United and NC Courage battling out here for a national championship.
NC Courage looking to defend their title, and Utah United looking to make some history with the first expansion team to win a USL W League final.
Now another shot that falls, it goes in the back of the net! And just like that, Utah United off the foot of Evans Tostado. And now Blum puts it in the back of the net. It's 3-0. Sends one in the back of the net. It's 4-0.
It's halftime here at the Lab in Albuquerque. 2-0 New Mexico United on top of Detroit City FC. Let's take a look at how we got here with our first half highlights.
In the land of enchantment, every move counts. That's why you need New Mexico Orthopedics to get you back doing the things you love. The official orthopedic surgeons of New Mexico United. Somos Unidos.
Me and my girls are anything but basic. And with the First Financial's high five checking rewards rate, we basically love living our life to the fullest. We used to wear pink on Wednesdays, but now orange is the new pink, and we wear it from head to toe every day. Ew, you have a basic bank? I got this. Nothing about me is basic, not even my credit union.
First Financial Credit Union, not a basic bank.
Superstar Grammy Award winner, Neo. Live in concert. And I'm so sick of the song, so tired of Neo. Performing at Sandia Amphitheater, Saturday, September 20th. Get tickets now at sandiacasino.com.
Well, second half moments away from getting started here between New Mexico United and Detroit City FC. Thanks for joining us here at the Lab. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. And Chris, it looks like we might actually have a change for the visitors here at halftime, as that man right there, Dennis Sanchez, looks to pick up his second consecutive win, Chris, after finding the first one this past Saturday in San Antonio. And it looks like this team, they come out tonight with a different confidence.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was 7 games without a win, and that really does play on your mind, and just the relief. And it was a late winner as well in the last game against San Antonio. So the relief that must have been, you can see it's almost like the shackles are off tonight, and New Mexico United playing with a freedom and a confidence after that Zico Bailey goal, where they're able to go and express themselves, and it's been really, really entertaining.
And so we've just got confirmation of the 2 halftime changes for Detroit City. Coming off will be Jay Chapman and Abdoulaye Diop. They'll be replaced by Haruki Yamazaki and Ryan Williams. The substitutions are brought to you by Chiba Hut, toasted subs and sandwiches. It's the 4th official, Charlie Delgadillo. Assistant referees, you have Clarence Clark and Soon Yinka Kahindi. Of course, our center official is Joshua Encarnacion. Second half underway here from the Lab in Albuquerque. He's one of 2 goal scorers on the night for New Mexico, Chris Gloucester. Gloucester out of Montclair, New Jersey. He's in his 2nd season with New Mexico and picked tonight to score his first goal at the Lab. The floor looking to play it forward for the substitute, Yamazaki.
And it doesn't look like there's been any change in shape for Detroit City. Just Yamazaki just in the in the gap there where Chapman was playing in behind the two forwards, but it's still 3-5-2. And early on in the game, really early on in the game, obviously first 4 minutes, I'm talking before Zico Bailey's goal, the two forwards and the attacking centre mid for Detroit were really causing some problems for New Mexico United, just in terms of the way things look, you know, the different schemes basically where they were trying to play out. The passing lanes look different. The pressure comes from different angles when you're playing against two forwards versus a front three. And it was really causing issues. And yeah, that goal for New Mexico United by Zico Bailey really kind of released a little bit of the pressure.
Well, Detroit potentially looking to grab one back. That cross dealt with. And we saw it there at the halftime break with our halftime stats. New Mexico, they enjoyed a lot of the possession, and so we'll see if Detroit, they look to get on the ball a little bit more here in the second half. This one comes in, and Tambakis out to grab it just in front of Adebayo Smith. He caused some problems throughout that first half, Adebayo Smith.
Yeah, we talked about that ball in behind, and the pace of Adebayo Smith was definitely causing issues. New Mexico United just maybe dropped about 10 yards, which took away the space for him to run into, and that kind of quieted him down a little bit. But Detroit have certainly tried to start the second half here on the front foot and ask some more questions, because the large periods of that first half, they really struggled to do so.
Mogel gets a ball forward. I think he was looking to connect with Rivas, but just got it wrong. He's the captain, Stephen Carroll. Yamazaki plays this out to LaFleur. New Mexico momentarily find themselves in possession. And once again, the foul called was Mogel. He was held back. So while we've got a second, I'd like to let you know that the USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. This is Kip Keller, the St. Louis, Missouri native. Lovely flick on from Greg Hurst, just unable to connect with Zico Bailey. Oh, and this could be a gift for New Mexico, as Bailey just blazes this over the head of everyone.
I think that was a shot. I think Zico Bailey, he knew he had to rush. Herrera was trying to make up for, I don't know if it was a mistake. It was just the back pass was not accurate. So then he had to stretch to try and clear it and didn't get his footing right. And Zico Bailey, he knew he had to take the opportunity first time, and he just looked down at the turf. He just got it wrong. I think that was a shot on goal that unfortunately went out for a throw-in.
Hernandez Foster. Substitute Williams. LaFleur now looking to get a ball into the box. He does, and Adebayo Smith looks to have won a corner. So Danny Bicchio looking to get a result here. A lot of changes in the lineup here tonight. Missing several of their top goal scorers. So trying to find where that moment is going to come from. Just takes one goal to get you back in this match. Still plenty of time. Corner was looking for Amu Mensah at the back post. Eventually cleared out by Greg Hurst. Dennis Sanchez looking to pick up his 17th point at home here this season. He's picked up 14 out of a possible 27. His record at home this season, 4 wins, 3 losses, couple draws.
I'm not sure he'll be happy with the way that the second half has started. New Mexico United just not as crisp, not as clean in possession, being a little wasteful in possession as well, giving Detroit an opportunity to really get a foothold in the game and gain some territory. And you can see they're having a lot of the ball right now and haven't really tested Tambakis yet, but probing in the New Mexico United half. And again, yeah, it all comes from just little mistakes from New Mexico United in possession.
And this Foster linking up with Amu Mensah, and Keller able to get a touch on that. And a foul called against Detroit. Valentin Noel on the receiving end of that one. So Valentin Noel, he scored twice for New Mexico since joining the club in late July.
He's going to get one of those shots right tonight. You've got to imagine he's had a couple of sighters just cutting in from that left-hand side, trying to bend it into that far corner and being so close. Incredibly unlucky with the one that hit the post, and the one that was going straight for the top corner looked like it was in all the way as well. So imagine if he gets another chance, he won't make that mistake again.
When he scored on his home debut here at the Lab, and it wasn't as deep as Zico Bailey's here tonight, but he chipped the keeper, Raiko Rosarena, his former teammate at Las Vegas Lights. There's Detroit City now. That shot skipping right into the arms of Alex Tambakis. Beautiful night here in Albuquerque. For any Michiganders that are watching, the humidity on that was correct, just 26%. Let me tell you, it is lovely out here in the high desert.
It's really humid.
Yeah, if you're joining us for the first time, we are at a mile in altitude here at Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park. I guess not necessarily. We're about 57 feet short, but way up there in altitude. And so that's one thing to keep an eye on, is we commonly see, Chris, towards the ends of matches, visiting teams taking a little bit longer between throw-ins, whatever the case is, or hands going down on their knees, trying to catch their breath. So Ryan Williams, he finds his way into the officials' book. It's a halftime sub. He's booked here after just less than 10 minutes on the pitch.
That was a heavy tackle, and it was, Chris Gloucester was kind of riding a couple of challenges, so not completely in control himself, and Williams thought he saw an opportunity to lunge in there and just got that wrong as well, and it was a heavy fall by Chris Gloucester. You can see he was kind of holding his lower back, it looked like, and but maybe, I think it was maybe more from the landing than the actual contact.
Yeah, you can see Chris Gloucester looks to be in quite a bit of pain. And so while we've got a second, fans, we'd like to let you know that Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. You can visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Gloucester makes his way off. We'd also like to let you know that soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. And speaking of SeatGeek, Chris, they're also the official ticketing provider of New Mexico United. And so if you're watching this match tonight thinking, man, I really want to go to a game soon, come on out. Saturday night, Meow Wolf night. New Mexico United just released some special edition Meow Wolf kits earlier this week. They are stunning. They'll be on display Saturday night. Get your tickets on SeatGeek.
Meow Wolf's always a good night. Miss it this year. I'm off to, you said about St. Louis, I am heading to the humidity.
It's a great way to put it.
It does look like maybe Chris Gloucester's struggling a little bit. I can see Talon Maples getting stripped over there. It looked like maybe a Charlie horse. He didn't need to be a master lip reader to see that he was in some pain when the trainer was trying to like find a specific spot where there was a knot on his quad. It looked like, so yeah, it doesn't look like maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if he can't continue. He's still hobbling pretty good now down in the bottom corner there.
Here's Detroit getting the ball into the box, and the shot attempt was blocked. That was Kobe Hernandez Foster looking to make some magic in Gloucester. He goes down. You have to imagine his night is probably coming to an end.
Yeah, a lot of that trouble there for New Mexico United was Detroit basically picking on the side of Chris Gloucester then. The trickery on that side, and he just didn't have any power in his legs. I do think he's got a bit of a dead leg, a Charlie horse, and he just can't push off and keep up with any kind of quick changes in direction. So normally you don't like to substitute on a corner. New Mexico United may be forced to do so though.
So Chris Gloucester making his 49th league appearance for the club tonight. Scored his first goal at the Lab in the 20th minute. Well, he's back to his feet, but it also looks like Dennis Sanchez over at the technical area, he might be keen on making the substitution, as it looks like Jalen Lindsay is going to be coming on, which is actually more of a like-for-like switch there, with Lindsay being a fullback by trade.
Again, though, it does look like Sanchez is ready with just 3 other guys stripped and ready to go on the halfway line as well. So it looks like, not too far off. Not happy with the start to the second half here and ringing the changes, trying to bring the energy back up.
So Jalen Lindsay is on here just before this corner. It's Kobe Hernandez Foster to deliver. 22nd appearance for the season for Lindsay. Officials don't look quite ready with something. You can see there's something going on over near the 4th official. Now it looks like we're good to go. There's the whistle from Joshua Encarnacion, and Hernandez Foster delivers. And well over the head of everyone. He was looking for Amu Mensah. At the end of that, so we will see, looks like potentially 3 more changes here for New Mexico. So it looks like Mogel's night is done. Also going to see Rivas coming off. So Carlos Mogel Jr., his night is done. It's a successful home debut for the former Lou City man. So we'll get you all caught up on all these subs as soon as they're in.
Looks like Keller, he's just walked off behind the goal as well. He looks like he's maybe limping a little bit as well and carrying a bit of a knock. It was a little innocuous, the tackle where you said he was able to get his foot in, where Detroit City had a little chance at goal, and maybe it was just a little awkward. I'm wondering if that's where maybe he picked up just a little knock there.
So a lot of substitutions in a short amount of time there for New Mexico. So it's Gloucester, Keller, Rivas, and Mogel Jr. all coming off. They're replaced by Jalen Lindsay, Talon Maples, Marlon Vargas, and Usman Jabang. There's Noel, and now finds Usman Jabang for his first touch tonight. Deon Harris, and Vargas nearly tapped it in. It goes off the post, and eventually Detroit able to clear the danger. That one centimeters away from being just poked in by Vargas.
A little bit of extracurriculars going on here after the ball was gone. First time New Mexico United have managed to get the ball out wide to Deion Harris, and again, just an early delivery in, full extension, but does everything he possibly can, Vargas. He couldn't have got anything more on that. That was like his tippy toes, just getting on the ball there, and just guides it onto the post. So unlucky for New Mexico United.
What a ball there from Deion Harris. Served on an absolute platter. Vargas, you saw the reaction. He's going to be dreaming about that ball again tonight. Vargas, he's looking for his first goal since June 21st. It's Detroit City looking for a quick counter. There's LaFleur and Adebayo Smith. And he looks to be a little shaken up. This is the second time we've seen him a little shaken up here tonight. And this is not good here if you're New Mexico.
I'm worried he had a little pull at his hamstring there. He had to go into full sprint mode then. It's been a little stop-start and to go from 0 to 100 like that. And I was worried at first that maybe he got a boot to the face. Adebayo Smith. And it reached for the ball and maybe caught him in the face, but yeah, hopefully that's not, with especially the subs that New Mexico United have just had to make. It's starting to look a little thin all of a sudden.
So you look at the bench here for New Mexico. There's only a couple names left aside from the backup keeper Chris Shakes, and that would be Makwele Akale or Luther Archimed, neither of which defenders by trade. In fact, quite the opposite.
I mean, Shaban has played some at centre-back, and there Tambakis is making the symbol that the substitute is required, so maybe it's going to have to be Hurst drops into midfield, Shaban drops into the back four. Could be one way to do it. Disappointing for New Mexico, especially for Kalen Wright. He's been out for so long with his collarbone injury and to come back, and yeah, it does look like maybe he's just felt something go, and hopefully it was just a little tweak. It wasn't anything too serious.
Well, a couple more substitutions here for Danny Dicchio as he brings in Alex Villanueva and Sebastian Guenzati. They're on for Isaiah LaFleur and Matt Sheldon, and so Danny Dicchio, he recognizes New Mexico. This isn't the same defense that held us scoreless in the first 45. As he brings on some reinforcements here, the forward Sebastian Guenzati. So New Mexico right now waiting for the substitution, but from what I can tell, Chris, it looks like they're playing down a man.
Yeah, Zico Bailey's just dropped into right back, and he's done that before. He's played outside back before, so that is another option as well. But now that midfield that was so dominant in the first half, Rivas has gone off, and Jabang's in there with Vargas. So they're gonna have to drop one of the forwards. I'm assuming Hurst is going to have to drop into the 10. Archimedes going to play straight through the middle, and he'll offer something different for the Detroit centre-backs to have to think about. Pace and power up front.
Well, Luther Archimed, he's on, and there you see Kalen Ryden distraughtly making his way to the technical area. But Luther Archimed, he's on to replace Kalen Ryden. And Archimed, well, he's coming off a big appearance this last weekend in San Antonio. He was the difference maker in that one, scored in the 67th minute. It was his first goal for New Mexico United. Chris, it was his first goal in the USL Championship since October 7th of 2023. He played for Sacramento at the time. It was against RGV. So it's great to see Luther Archimed making his way back from that season-ending knee injury that he had a couple years ago, and now found the back of the net for New Mexico and looking to start getting some regular minutes here.
Yeah, you can see, like if he can find his feet and can find, some kind of form and some kind of consistency in terms of being on the pitch. I mean, You know, look at Deion Harris. He's benefiting from, is it 5 games in a row now? You can see it, and unfortunately, you know, like Gloucester's gone off with a knock. He just can't ever seem to find like a run of games like that. And it really is a sequence, you know, once you have one knock, then you overcompensate. So hopefully he's on the road and you can just see what he offers. Like that goal that he scored against San Antonio was so calm. Some players, especially when you've been out for so long, haven't scored for so long, would snatch at that opportunity. Just rounded the goalkeeper so calmly and slotted it into the back of the net. It was a great goal.
Deion Harris picked up the assist on that goal as well. Will Seymour, Deion Harris to deliver this corner. So New Mexico, they could really use an insurance goal here. The official saw something he didn't like going on there in the box, and so free kick awarded to Detroit. Now the Rouge starting to press forward. Just over 20 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. As Villanueva unable to connect with anybody in that one. Villanueva, he scored the 4th and final goal just last time out for Detroit City against Orange County. Vargas gives chase, and Vargas able to get on the end of this. Here's Marlon Vargas. And Vargas wins the corner kick. Corner kicks brought to you by Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Hello, crisp, refreshing taste. Hello, Topo Chico Hard Seltzer.
Yeah, really well done there by Vargas. Just anticipates the bounce better than Yamazaki does, and trying to decide, he couldn't find anyone to try and square the ball. He was desperate to find the right pass there, and when that wasn't an option, tried to take it on and draws the corner. But great play by Vargas.
Another corner kick here for New Mexico, and it's headed in. It's Greg Hurst. It's his 5th goal of the season. New Mexico make it 3-0.
I'm going to say, I bet Greg Hurst said finally when that ball went in there. Great ball in by Deion Harris. Another assist for that man. On fire right now. And Greg Hurst has been stuck on 4 goals. It feels like forever. Top of the scoring charts for New Mexico United. Finally adds the 5th.
And for Greg Hurst, it's his first goal since August 9th at Tulsa. And it could not have come at a better time. 3-0 with 20 minutes to go.
You can see there was two defenders on him as well, and he still manages to get great connection on it. He just guides it. There's so much pace on the cross. He doesn't need to do a whole lot except knock it into a general area, and he finds that corner. Nothing Herrera could do in goal there.
And that is New Mexico United's leading goal scorer, the Scotsman Greg Hurst. New Mexico buzzing now. And of course, you still have 20 minutes left in this one, but looming in just 72 hours, Chris, it's a showdown with top of the West FC Tulsa right here at the Lab once again. And so, you know, if Dennis Sanchez and his men able to string together a couple of wins, confidence will be very high going into that weekend match. Looking for a quick counter. Here's Adebayo Smith. His effort deflected, and it finds Alex Tambakis.
Yeah, I mean, and technically, if you're looking at Tulsa, they went on an absolute tear. I mean, sitting on top of 43, but glass half full, glass half empty. If you're a New Mexico United fan, glass half full is they're winless in their last 2, loss and a tie. Just ignore the other 10, 12, 15 games before that, shall we? But again, New Mexico United just finding that extra gear, and it's all about momentum. And once any club in the West, it really is the Wild West this year. Once any club gets any kind of momentum, it just steamrolls. And could this be the start of something special for New Mexico United?
In Detroit, you can tell they're pressing a little higher, a little harder, conceding the foul.
Getting back to the, we talk, look at all the changes at the back though, but Tambakis coming back in today as well, 72nd minute, but defensive solidity. All of the chances that Detroit have had, they've had to work extremely hard for them today. New Mexico United have been really well drilled, working so hard defensively, and that's what, almost going back to basics, that's what New Mexico United were good at early on in the season, and they kind of lost their way with that over the last couple of months, and really the last 3-4 games have started to go back to that, and starting with that defensive foundation.
Well, in 4 games is exactly it. If you count tonight, as New Mexico, they're looking to pick up their 3rd clean sheet in their last 4 matches. As Detroit looking to spoil that here. Williams on a yellow card. Finds Villanueva. And I think you can point to a couple things defensively 4 matches ago that started this whole defensive run. One, the addition of Kip Keller. The re-addition of Kalen Ryden. But now we look at what's happened here over the last 10 minutes with both of them going out and being replaced here in the second half. It's fair to wonder what we're going to see on Saturday.
Yeah, but again, Tyler Maples, how he was performing early on in the season and how he performed consistently in the 2024 season, more than capable of coming off the bench and being a starter on this team here. It's the combination of him and Seymour. Seymour's looked really good at outside back. It's just different. And, all of the schemes, all of the assignments you've been talking about all week in practice, who's picking up who at set pieces, things like that, that's all gone completely out the window now. So that's maybe changed, but they'll have a chance to regroup before the weekend's game. And hopefully some of those knocks, hopefully some of the substitutions, it really is just more precautionary. Like Keller's, he walked off under his own steam. Ryden's looked a little more serious, just by his reaction. So hopefully Keller's not too serious going into this weekend's game.
Marlon Vargas shown yellow there. As was Deon Harris for time wasting just moments ago. And so 2 yellow cards shown to New Mexico United within the last 60 seconds. Both of those yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. And now this set piece from a dangerous area. It's Detroit looking to perhaps kickstart the comeback here with 15 minutes to go. It's Hernandez Foster. Low shot driven. It's dealt with by Talon Maples. An acrobatic second attempt, but that was well over the bar.
Again, that was a hard chance. Like all of the little pieces, all the second balls New Mexico United are first to right now and there. That was a really hard, low percentage opportunity that Detroit were going to have to try and score from there. And that's not dissimilar from Orange County. You were talking about it pre-game. We were talking off air about how low their XG was, and they managed to score 4 goals. And they were really clinical against Orange County, and they just haven't had the opportunity to do so tonight.
Turnover here is New Mexico. They were looking to get something going. Kobe Hernandez Foster able to come into possession here for Detroit. So our official attendance tonight brought to you by New Mexico Mutual. 7,347 in attendance here tonight at Rio Grande Credit Union Field. Villanueva Has his pocket picked by Seymour.
Seymour must be so frustrating to play against. That's the third or fourth time he's done that today, where he initiates the contact, he backs into the defender and then falls over and wins the free kick. And it has to be absolutely infuriating. Really well done by the experienced defender there.
You know what's funny is we've been watching Will Seymour for the better part of the last, 5 seasons now. We could make probably a 10-minute highlight reel of him doing nothing but that and getting foul calls over the last 5 years. It's brilliant, and he's absolutely mastered the art of it. Jabang with some nice control initially, loses possession. Seymour able to get a foot in there, stop the attack. Here's Jabang, the Georgia native. Greg Hurst looking to find Jalen Lindsay. Second half substitute. Vargas looking for Noel and just too far out in front of the Frenchman.
It's interesting how just results and goals and the momentum and the feel-good factor change opinions or feelings, I guess, right? Like we were talking earlier on in the first half about the Lumen Lodge, that big battle against the top of the West, Tulsa. If I'm Tulsa watching this tonight, I'm thinking New Mexico United might be building up a head of steam here and figuring things out, getting some players back from injury. Obviously, the last 10 minutes or so, maybe losing a couple of guys, but getting that swagger back. I'm not looking forward to a trip up to the altitude, and yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one bit.
Well, and what's also important to note is New Mexico, they still have, I think, 5 more home games going down the stretch, and so it is a home-heavy back half. As you talk about a team that's starting to find form, and we know all about the crowds that the black and yellow faithful typically draw here. We'll expect to see about 10,000 on Saturday night here at the Lab, and so talk about things potentially starting to click at all the right times for Dennis Sanchez. Here's Arshamed. So Arshamed, he's one of those things. Hernandez Foster loses possession momentarily, and the foul was called back by Joshua Encarnacion, and this will be the final substitution of the night for Detroit City. It's Shane Wheat. Shane Wheat, the 30-year-old former Sac Republic, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Loudoun United man. He's on for Stephen Carroll. So the captain, his night is done. Shane Wheat making his 155th league appearance here tonight. What a milestone. Noel just kind of pinged this ball forward, hoping for something good to happen. Villanueva now. That ball corralled on the far side. It's Yamazaki. It's the substitute Wheat. Less than 10 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Thanks for joining us here at the Lab this evening. Some midweek USL Championship action. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. Whether you're joining us on CBS Sports Golazo Network or around the state of New Mexico on New Mexico 50. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a fun night of soccer. If you're a fan of the black and yellow, it's been somewhat of a frustrating night if you're a Detroit City FC supporter. The foul is called. So fans, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM-FC 157. That's North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM-FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. You know, and I'll save you one. You can turn on Sirius XM-FC 157 right now and listen to this game. That's right, this one's being picked up nationally, and it's our good friends who are actually in the booth right next to us, Adam Deal and Andy Hageman. They're the local radio broadcasters on ESPN Radio 101.7 The Team, and they're on the national stage tonight. And so this game it's accessible pretty much anywhere. This is honestly pretty incredible.
Yeah, all eyes on this game. Obviously, you know, with the Jägermeister Cup games going on and being done now, but not too many league games going on. So yeah, all eyes on the lab.
There's Vargas. He's going to win the throw-in. So Detroit, they've been unbeaten in their last 5, as we mentioned. Last time they tasted defeat, got to go back to August 6th. It was at Centerville Bank Stadium against Rhode Island FC. It was a 1-0 win for the home side that night. Since then, Detroit, they've only conceded 3 goals in the 5 matches since. New Mexico put 3 in 70 minutes here tonight.
That's those travelling woes that we talked about in the first half. Not able to work out. I mean, obviously they're depleted as well. Their squad's really being tested right now as well. But not able to find the formula. The 3-5-2. I really like the 3-5-2. And I think it would really work on a tight pitch like the Lab. But for the early signs that looks like it was going to work tonight for Detroit City to pick the ball off early on. The first chance of the game way back was Detroit's, and what a save it was by Tambakis. Imagine if that had gone in. How different would this game be? Unbelievable save early on. But that goals change games, and as soon as Zico Bailey's goal went in from 68 yards out or whatever it was, it's completely changed the complexion of this game.
Mensah heads back in, and that was not very far from being tapped home. Sebastian Guenzati, he looked to be just inches off of that one. The Uruguayan. Let's get one more look on this TLC replays. Amu Mensah with a great header back into the mix.
That's the goal scorer. That's the centre forward. He's had to play a little deeper since the injuries, but that's Greg Hurst being really disciplined, tracking his man, and just doing enough to just put him off at the back post there.
Guenzati, he's been at it for quite some time. Made his professional debut in 2013 in what was the NASL with the New York Cosmos. Played with the Cosmos for almost 4 years before making his way to the USL Championship. Spent several seasons with Tampa Bay Rowdies. Spent the last 2 years with Indy 11. Now applying his trade for Detroit City FC. He is approaching the 320 career professional appearances mark. He knows how to score a lot of goals. 91 league goals in his professional career. So Amu Mensah, he's gotten forward. Ball goes into the box, and Tambakis able to catch that ball off the hop. But it looks like Kobe Hernandez Foster, he's gone down. Ball initially appeared a lot closer than it really was. Like Vargas just took a little bit of a hit there. Tambakis will send this one away, and that's going to give us time to let you know that eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball, free to play, download now.
I feel like we haven't mentioned the San Antonio connection enough tonight, so let's get one more in. The last time New Mexico United scored 3 or more goals at home, last time they won at home, all the way back in June. So it's certainly a formula for success here in New Mexico, playing on the front foot, taking risks, and they've certainly done that tonight.
Williams drawing the foul. Zico Bailey, well, he's played 2 very different roles here tonight, Chris. He was pressing forward almost as a 10 for New Mexico in that first half, and then some injuries, some changes. He's been playing right back for the better part of the last, 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah, you're seeing there's a number of people. Let's say Hurst is having to play a little deeper, Vargas a little deeper as well, and they're all just kind of mucking in right now, kind of doing what they need to do to make sure that they get the win. And you can see how hard they're working.
Villanueva and the cross, the header into the arms of Alex Tambakis.
Yeah, how hard they're working to preserve that clean sheet. And again, that was a really comfortable save for Tambakis, because every chance that Detroit are creating, they're challenged. They are not open chances. Like we're saying, Gloucester had the freedom of the 18-yard box when he blasted the second goal for New Mexico tonight. There's no opportunities like that right now falling for Detroit because of how hard New Mexico United are working.
Here's Maples. Coming up on the end of the 90 minutes, we do have second half stoppage time, and we're hearing that there's going to be quite a bit. Here's Villanueva. Cross goes in, and Lindsay made first contact with it. Here's Harris. Rick Hurst now, and New Mexico still looking for another goal here. So they'll take their foot off the gas for just a moment. It's Hurst. Lindsay. Noel. Lindsay again. It's Vargas. Little flick on. Vargas fighting. Vargas goes down. And it's going to be a goal kick at the end of the day. And Vargas, I think, asking the same question that you might want to ask, Chris, is, did he get tripped?
I just don't understand why he would go down. And if the referee doesn't believe he was tripped, then it's a yellow card because Vargas simulated. It's one of those two things. It's either a foul, you just hear it just breaks to him. And yeah, I mean, that angle's not great, but that certainly looks like there's a question to be answered there.
You see the outstretched right leg of Shane Wheat. And now a yellow card shown. I believe that was to Bryant. Cards going left and right here. Yellow cards tonight brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Let's take one more look here. Yeah, Archimed, you can see the tug of the jersey, and Archimed furious.
Saying about yellow cards flying left and right, I can't remember. Has Greg Hurst, has he had a yellow card yet? If not, he's got to be on his last warning.
He has not been booked yet. So 7 minutes of second half stoppage time. And stoppage time is brought to you by New Mexico Pinon Coffee, the taste of enchantment. So New Mexico, well, they're in no hurry. So they're letting each second tick off the clock, and now Archimed is whistled for the foul. So it looks like Detroit City, they're going to have to wait until their next trip out to the 505 in hopes of picking up their first win at the Lab. There's Villanueva. Cross goes in, dealt with by Seymour. Williams has a pop, and that one goes well wide. And not even just their first win at the Lab, Chris. Detroit City are scoreless in their 1+ match in New Mexico so far, as New Mexico looking to solidify a second clean sheet against Detroit City here.
I assume, same with New Mexico. They'll be heading up to Detroit if the way it works. A switch off every year, so they'll be heading up to Detroit and they'll be looking for their first win. It's gone with the first 4 meetings, unless there's some kind of miracle in the next 6 minutes or so here. It's gone with the home team, so it'll be up to New Mexico to try and buck that trend in the 2026 season. And maybe they'll meet in the playoffs.
There is one more possibility remaining this year, and that is the one. Vargas chips this one over, and the flag goes up on Archimed. And I believe that's the first offside call tonight on New Mexico. We'll double check that. It is. And actually, from what I can tell, that's the first offside call on either side. How about that? 94 minutes in. So a bit of a shot off that deflection there, and looks like one of the Detroit City players is down. So while we wait, we'd like to tell you that the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. But we're on CBS Sports Golazo Network tonight. We're back on ESPN Plus this weekend. So make sure to tune in for that. Meow Wolf Night coming on Saturday. Top of the West, FC Tulsa traveling to Albuquerque. As Tulsa got the better of New Mexico just a few weeks ago out at One Oak Field. New Mexico will be looking to even the season series here. Deion Harris, he's so quick, able to lure you one way and then quickly turn on the jets and cross. Just missed Greg Hurst by about 6 inches.
Yeah, that was another great ball. Just keeper can't touch it. Defenders terrified too in case it goes in the back of their own net as well. Another tremendous ball by Harris.
Here's Seymour. 60 seconds remaining here of the minimum of 7 minutes added on. Second half stoppage time. Archimed and just couldn't get a touch. Here's Jabang. Valentin Noel, he's got space, one-on-one with the keeper, and Valentin Noel puts the nail in the coffin. 4-0 New Mexico United.
That wasn't quite as spectacular as we maybe thought his goal would be, but he's been knocking on the door all night, hit the post, just missed the top corner, and this was probably the easiest chance of the lot for him. Slipped through, so calm, picked his spot, just passed it into the back of the net.
That goal was brought to you by New Mexico Orthopedics, getting you back to you, Valentin Noel. He scored his third goal in the USL Championship this season for New Mexico United. His second here at the Lab. And that's the exclamation point on an emphatic performance for the black and yellow tonight.
Yeah, tremendous performance. Like you say, it's not just about the win. It really is about the performance. And even when things have not gone New Mexico United's way, they've had to make a lot of changes, some forced upon them as the game has gone on. And they haven't skipped a beat. Detroit have been made to work really, really hard for anything they've got. And New Mexico have been really clinical when it's come to any chances they've had in the final third.
And that is the full-time whistle here in Albuquerque. An emphatic 4-0 victory for New Mexico. That makes it 2 wins on the bounce, with a date with Top of the West FC Tulsa coming up here in just a few days. Chris, your thoughts on tonight's match?
Huge win, huge because first one at home, and these home fans just crave entertainment, and that's exactly what tonight was. It was a very, very entertaining game.
Zico Bailey, he is awarded your play of the match, brought to you by Vara Winery for his goal in the 5th minute. Zico Bailey also awarded man of the match. He was everywhere tonight. 15 tackles for Zico Bailey. And how about this? A clean sheet for Alex Tambakis. He had the big save in the 23rd minute. Big save just 12 seconds in to really set the tone, making his first start in a month and a half. Alex Tambakis, your Valley Fence Defensive Player of the Match. 4-0, your full-time score. We'll go ahead and step aside. We'll be back to put a bow on it right here on CBS Sports Golazo Network.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
2 wins on the bounce for the black and yellow as they shut out Detroit City FC 4-0 here at the Lab. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at how we've reached this point here tonight. A look at our